Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Funny Shapes. If you don't know me, I'm your host, Lottie, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Miami Grand Prix. Let me tell you this, Miami promised absolutely nothing and delivered everything. They were like, okay, so you talk shit about Miami and about being a boring track, being a glorified parking lot in the middle of Miami. Okay, so here's Lando's first win. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I am so happy. I've had like 12 hours maybe to recover. And let's talk about this whole weekend. And if you can hear water running, if you can hear cars going by, it's because I'm recording this in my car because I have people at home. And I want to get this done. So I'm recording this in the car, and the chances of you hearing a lot of noise are high. So yeah, let's get into today's episode. I've had a little break, didn't post an episode for Japan or for China, but nothing major happened. They were like pretty normal 2024 Grand Prix with Max winning and nothing major happened. So yeah, let's just move on to the Miami Grand Prix. And well, Lando Norris is a Grand Prix winner. Finally, fucking finally. He has been waiting for this moment for, well, he started in F1 in 2019, so for 5 years, or actually for his whole life. But he's had opportunities to do this. Like the big one, I think it was Sochi 2021, and the rain came and just ruined his opportunity of becoming a Grand Prix winner. Then 2021 as well, Monza, he played the team game and then Eric won. And then last year he got into the lead in Silverstone, but then we all know what happened. Max was just too quick and he didn't win. But now his time finally arrived and it was absolutely amazing, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start from the beginning of the weekend and go through the days. This weekend was, again, a sprint weekend. We had two sprint weekends in a row, China and Miami. Starting with Friday, we had Charles having a little spin, like spinning like a ballerina in FP1. He didn't have any practice, but then did such an amazing job and managed to finish P2 in the sprint qualifying and start behind Max for the sprint, which is absolutely amazing. And he was like, oh yeah, so you're doubting me? Because I haven't been as great as I'm usually in qualifying. Okay, here's what I can do with no practice. And he finished P2. I'm so happy. And it's like all of the things saying, oh, Ferrari fired the wrong driver and all of that. It pisses me off extremely because Charles is one of the most talented drivers in the grid, and just because Carlos was outperforming him these past 5 races, it doesn't mean that he lost his talent from one year to the other. And the thing is, Carlos is doing his absolute best because he needs to prove it so he can have a job for next year. Charles has to do a good job, of course, because, well, he's paid for it. But if Carlos does better than him, Carlos might stay in F1, which I really hope he does. But he has to work for it. And Charles has a contract until like 2028, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. So let's chill with all of the Charles hate because I cannot accept it. Like, he's my favorite, always will be, and I accept no criticism. Criticism? Is that a word? I think so. About Charles. But yeah, sprint qualifying, the rest, like, was just pretty normal. Max on pole. Like, he gave us a little hope in SQ1 and SQ2. But then SQ3 comes, or just normal Q3 comes, and he just finds the lap and then ends up in pole position, which is annoying, extremely annoying. But yeah, then moving on to Saturday, we had the sprint race first, and Max had kind of a weird start. Charles almost got to him, but then he managed to just, again, disappear. And he just ran away, won, and well, same old, same old. But we had some fights. For example, Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton were fighting like crazy. Then um, penalty festival started. Like last week we had Coachella. This week we had penalty festival, and Kevin got like, I don't even know. I think I lost count of how many penalties he got in his sprint. I think it was like 4 or 3 penalties, which not a good thing. And on Sunday he got 2 more penalties. I think 1 more penalty, and he's now 5 points away from a race ban. You have like those points to be like wasted. Don't know if that's the word, but you can lose those points. Actually, you can lose those points throughout a 12-month period. He lost most of them in one weekend. I would say Miami was not a great weekend for Kevin. Not great. But yeah. Then we had Grand Prix qualifying. Again, nothing much happened. Charles was doing like amazing in Q3 and Q2. He was like doing the fastest laps. But then in Q3, he didn't manage to do like the lap that he needed. And he finished P2, and Max got the pole position. So, well, same thing as always. With Carlos in P3 and Perez in P4 and Lando in P5. So now let's move on to Sunday. Let me tell you this. When I woke up Sunday morning, I never expected that by 11 o'clock at night, Lando Norris would be a Grand Prix winner. Let me tell you this, it was not in my plans for yesterday, but it was absolutely amazing. It was. I'm still so giddy about it because I'm like so happy, and I will never get tired of this feeling. Watching one of your favorite drivers win his first race is so special. Like, I got Carlos's first win, and I got Lando's first win because George is not like one of my favorites, but I was happy for him because, of course, it's your dream since you get into a kart at like 7 years old to become a Grand Prix winner in F1. So I was happy for him, but it's like different when one of your favorite drivers gets that win. And I think I felt this one even more than Carlos's one. Don't know why, but I was so happy. Actually, I do. Because he's been trying for so long. And then last year, Oscar was doing such an amazing rookie season. He won a race. It was a sprint race, but he won a race in his rookie year. And Lando was just like, I don't know if I can do this. And people kept saying like he was going to win. And he was like, but I don't know. Like, I think he doubted himself a little bit, which is sad to see because Lando is such an amazing driver. And last year he was so close to winning, and then he didn't. Well, of course he didn't. But yeah, I really, really love Lando, and I think he has so much talent. And the fact that he finally got his win after believing in McLaren, because people were like, why don't you move teams? Like Christian offered him a contract at Red Bull, and he was like, no, I'm sticking to this project. I believe in this project, and he's very, very, very confident about what they're doing for 2026. And he was like, I know that in 2026 we're going to be like good, or at least he hopes so. And he was expecting to get his first win this year or next year, and he did it. I don't think he was expecting to be in the sixth race of the year, but it happened. It happened. It was such an amazing race. And yeah, but let's go through the race because it was amazing. So, five lights go out. It's a bit of like of a messy start because Checo was like, I'm a rocket ship, and he almost took out Max in the first corner, which is like, you started in fourth. Like, where are you going? It was insane. Um, Basically, everyone had to be like, okay, please don't take me out. And then Oscar was like doing amazing. He went from P6 to P3 right from the beginning, then managed to overtake Charles and stayed in P2 for a good while, like until he went to the pits. He stayed in P2, and then Logan and Magnussen crash. Actually, Logan crashed. Magnussen continued. And I never liked Logan more. Which might sound weird. Like, I'm glad he's okay, of course. But it's like, thanks, Logan. Because that safety car was the reason why Lando won his first race yesterday. Yes, after the restart, he did amazing. And he kept Max behind him. And he managed to finish 7 seconds ahead of Max, which is a rare sight to see these days. But it was such an amazing race, and he did amazing. And he was like just trying. He said that he was trying to just concentrate and not like focus too much in the fact that he was about to win his first race, because he was so afraid that something would happen. And with the amount of things that have happened to him, I was like so scared that he was going to crash, that the car somehow would quit life, and I was so scared. It's not even funny. But he did amazing, and I'm so incredibly proud of him. And yeah, I'm really happy. But yeah, before that, actually, Max hit a cone, which is very weird. It was a very weird moment, but his car had issues. He said that he was having a few issues with the balance of the car, and the car wasn't turning the way he wanted it to turn. But he hit that cone with so much force. There was like, okay, like, I don't know his name. The commentator from F1 TV was like, I think it was David Coulthard actually. Was it David? I don't know if it was DC or the other commentator. He was like, Cone's lives matter as well. I never laughed so hard. But yeah, let me tell you. Coming back to the whole Lando thing. This episode will be like Lando focused. Those last like 5 laps were so stressing. I was like, oh my god. I was like pacing in my living room. I was so glad no one was home yet, because I was pacing like a crazy lady. I went, ran into my room, got my Lando cap, and I was like, okay, this is going to happen. Like, it actually is. And I was like, oh my god, like, all of my friends were texting me, were like, this is happening. Lando's about to win his first race. The feeling was so amazing. I posted a little video the moment that he crossed the finish line, and it was such an amazing feeling. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's like I didn't catch Charles' first win because that was in 2019 and had basically no idea what F1 was back then. But I do know that his first race wasn't the happiest of first races, because it was the weekend that Antoine died. So yeah, but I'm so happy, and this was the best thing ever. Like, it was such a good feeling. And now we have to wait for Oscar's first win, which I think it's coming. If the updates look like that good and if they have the pace to keep a Red Bull behind, I think the rest of the season might be more interesting than we were expecting. But at the same time, let's not have too much hope, because the chances of them just becoming rocket ships again and winning every single race for the rest of the season are very high. Okay? So let's keep our hopes low, but at the same time, let's hope, Let's keep it balanced. But yeah, it was a very, very good race weekend. Again, wasn't expecting it at all. Like, the only thing I did was laugh about all of the jokes about the Miami Grand Prix, and then magic happened, and it was amazing. And seeing Charles and Max so happy for Lando, and Carlos came and hugged him and said, "Welcome to the club." That was like the cutest thing ever. And in the podium, I was so confused because they didn't splash the champagne all over him. They went straight to the face. Both. Max was like crouched down, like spraying the champagne in his face. Poor kid. Could barely see anything after it. But yeah, I'm very happy. And we got a conclusion from this weekend. It is, if you hurt yourself or if you have like a medical issue, you will win the next race. Don't know what they might say to the other drivers, what they're going to do with it. But Carlos has appendicitis. Next race, wins. Lando this week hurt himself in the nose while partying, which is a bit different than appendicitis. While partying with Martin Garrix, it was just like a small cut in his nose, but it worked. He won his first race. So maybe just start like, whoops, I fell down. Whoops, hurt my hand. I don't know. Start like, I think it was proven that you don't need to have appendicitis. It can be other things. You can just like have a small cut and it will help you win the next race. So, don't know, Charles, like, maybe start cooking more because he's terrible at cooking. We've learned that from his vlogs. Like, maybe start cutting some onions. Maybe like, whoops, cut off a little bit of my finger. Not cut off the finger, but like, whoops, hurt myself. Now it's time to win. But yeah, I am hopeful for the next few races. Don't know if I should be, but I am. And let me tell you this, I miss Charles winning. Just getting out of subject, but I miss Charles winning. And if you want to cry, just think that Charles hasn't won a race since Austria 2022. But yeah, I'm gonna end this episode now. It was such a good race weekend. I am so happy for Lando. Like, I think this was like an unlock button. There was like, okay, now that the first race is over, you're fine and you'll win a lot more races. I think it was like something like just blocking him from winning more, and now that block is gone and he's about to win a few more races. So yeah, hopefully that will happen, and I'll see you for the next episode. Bye.